If you're in sales, have you noticed how some people are just really easily persuaded and yet others have 101 questions that take forever to make a decision? For some people, the details are important and essential, and yet for others, too many details can actually dissuade them. So how do you get it right? What if I told you there was a way to identify the 4 customer types so that you could sell to each person in a way that they wanted to be sold to, in a way that lights them up and creates raving fans for you? You may have heard of DISC, and I'll give you a brief background. In the 1920s, a psychologist called Carl Jung started studying human behavior, and he uncovered the 4 energy types. Basically, all of the modern personality behavioral testing stems from Carl Jung's original research. The 4 energy types is just a fancy way of saying group of characteristics or group of attributes that define a person. So why is this important? If you can identify the energy type and know how to adjust your own behavior to meet their needs, then you create raving fans for your business and create a more profitable, stable business and have lots more customers. So I'll give you a helicopter ride over the 4 energy types now, and bear in mind that I am describing these from a typical extreme version of each one, so take it with a pinch of salt. The D energy. D stands for dominant, and the D people are the ones who want to win. They are driven by certainty and driven by significance. You'll find them generally as the leader of the group or leader of a company. They're very focused on the goal and the outcome. They can be very direct and outspoken, and they get annoyed by too many details, fluffy stuff, and people who are just all over the place. An I energy, an influencer, is driven by the need to be liked. You will generally find this person as the loudest one in the group. I energies are all about doing fun things with cool people. They can be very scatterbrained and suffer from what's lovingly referred to as shiny thing syndrome, which basically means that they get lost and distracted on their way to their goal. An S energy stands for steady, and that's the mother of the group. So they prefer to be in the background, and they've generally got your back too. An S energy is driven by tradition and comfort. They're not demanding, but they can be stubborn, and change is not their friend. They much prefer to lag behind and do what they feel comfortable with than try new things. And a C energy, compliant, is the technician. So they're driven by the need to be accurate. Details and spreadsheets are their friend. And a C energy is generally in a job that's very high specialization, like engineering or financial accounting. And a C energy is the most introverted of the group. They prefer their own company, and being around other people can actually drain them. So I hope this quick helicopter ride of the 4 energy types has allowed you to identify potentially where you might be and other types of people. The next step is to know how to use this information to build trust of the customer in front of you, and to know what language and types of behavior to use to engage with them in the best way. So that's what I'm going to explain now. A D energy, because they're driven by results and the end goal, if you can explain to them how your product or service meets their needs, you've won them over. As long as you are clear and don't give too many details in what you say, then they'll say yes very easily to you. A D energy is also very visual, and they want to be able to picture the outcome. An I energy is driven by social proof. So if you can explain to them, if you can demonstrate how your product or service is loved and used by their peers, and tell them how much fun they'll enjoy while they're using it, then you've won them over. With an I energy, prepare to match their energy. Be smiley, jokey, and playful. They're very kinesthetic, so it's okay to touch them. And if you're using the feeling words, use the ones that are more high energy, like excitement and optimism and fun. As you can probably tell, D's and I's are very easy to sell to. They're very easily persuaded. They make quick decisions. They are generally on the upward slope of the sales bell curve, known as early adopters or first fast followers. In fact, all of your marketing when you first start a business or launch a product should be directed at D's and I's. And you'll understand why as I start to explain the S's and the C's. So an S energy, being driven by tradition, they're going to want to know how long your product has been around for, how it's been tested and proven. They're going to want to know that they're kinesthetic as well. They're going to want to know more of the low energy feeling words like warmth and comfort and security. The interesting thing about an S energy, they're generally on the lower, on the tail end of the sales bell curve, and you probably know a few of them that still have an old Nokia or a flip phone. So the interesting thing about an S is that they, when asked to make a decision, provided you've answered all their other questions, they will say, I need some time. And when pressed for a reason, they will say, I don't know. And S energy doesn't know why they need time, but they just metaphorically need time to pass in order to make a decision. So if you're in a shop situation, you might let them wander around the store while you go back to the till and come back to them. On the phone, you might call them back in 20 minutes to give them that time. You can actually build trust with an S energy by saying to them in this situation, let me give you some time, I'll call you back in 10 minutes. For a C energy is probably the hardest to sell to, but once you've won them over, they're the most loyal. So because they're driven by the need to be accurate, you need to have your facts and figures precise. Any inaccuracies, any discrepancies will be noticed and will start to chip away at any trust you're building. Now, what's interesting about a C energy is that they are the only ones of all four that genuinely need time to think about it. So if any other energy says to you, I need to think about it, it's a slow no, you haven't answered their objections. But with a C energy, they genuinely need time, need to contemplate the data in their head and let it make sense. Once you've understood this, once you know you're dealing with a C energy, if you were to say to them, I don't want you to make a decision right now, and suggest that they go away and think about it, you are actually going to build trust and you're going to totally rock their world, except you won't know it because their version of outward delightedness is a sly smile like that. So I hope with this helicopter ride, you've been able to identify potentially your energy type and some other ones. And you can see that maybe you've got a natural preferred style of selling to a certain type of customer and you're naturally good at that. The whole point of understanding the 4 types of energies and the 4 types of customers is that you now know you can adapt your energy style and your behavior to match the customer that's in front of you so that you can sell to them in the way they want to be sold to and answer their questions and serve their needs. And they should lead to more customers for your business. So if this is just blown your mind and you haven't heard this before, rewind, listen to it again. If you want more information, comment below and I've got an exercise to do that will help you uncover your natural energy style. And then from there, you'll be able to know what the next step is. Enjoy.